not?
Why not?
May as well.
Are we lined up?
I mean, who cares? I've actually already tested the mic and everything. See, look how good, how nice we are. Even though if I lean to my right, you want it more on you? Okay,
no, on both. I'm moving it to
put
you.
it on you.
Yeah.
Just on you. There you go. That's much better. That is the way to do it. So it's the Dale Show now. Come on, talk. If it's your show,
It's my show.
make
Better
what?
get comfortable.
Make
bacon, not war.
Not war. Okay.
Yeah.
What,
Week 6.
What a thrilling start to the show already. I don't even think anyone's watching at the moment, so I'm not motivated. If anyone was actually watching, I'd be motivated, but no one cares. What?
Jamie's watching.
You're
She's
not
in the room with
You're
us.
not watching. You're just walking in and out, making my dinner.
I'm watching. And it's your motherfucking
That's a very rude hand gesture in some cultures. Doubly so. We should probably start off with the biggest...
Okay.
Oh, not that again. There's no one watching, so...
That's alright, we're live. Someone has to watch at some point.
They'll listen to the podcast now that it's on iTunes.
It's do our listeners know about that?
I don't think so. I haven't told anyone but you and Jamie. But I did I think I can't do it on here. Damn it. I did a search the other day and I couldn't actually find it.
Oh, really?
It just came up with Dolce & Gabbana.
I did a search as well. And I did find a lot of Dolce & Gabbana podcasts.
So I think we need to play on that and try and get a sponsorship from them.
Yep. You can send us plenty of Dolce & Gabbana stuff.
Do they make suits or like male clothing, or are they just a girl's clothing? I don't know them that
Jamie?
well.
Both. We got thumbs up.
Are they good? Are they good suits?
Well, they were when I was at the Dolce & Gabbana store in Venice. Very nice.
If you were a man saying that, you would have said it in a real like Ian Thorpe style.
Why would Ian Thorpe say it like that?
Yes, that's the big news for us. Is
that Ian Thorpe's gay?
That is Ian Thorpe's gay.
Big news.
We are excited. We're going to be finding out where he's hanging out, so we can get a bit of swimmer action.
Spargo. Call back to episode 5.
Their front window was smashed.
Yeah.
Front door.
On Victoria Street?
Yeah.
That's been smashed for ages.
Has it? Oh, yeah. I noticed it the other day and I was all like, oh, that's a shame. I didn't like the fact that it had been smashed because for obvious reasons, I feel like they're neighbours, sort of.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll turn the volume off on that one. Yeah. Ian Thorpe. The main thing that I've been noticing from people is no one cares.
No one cared because everyone knew he was gay.
Well, everyone assumed, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no one cared.
No.
And the interesting thing was that I saw a post that said it's good that we don't care, but it's a shame in a way because people will care. There are people out there who will still give him shit, and be dickheads about it. Whereas the, for want of a better word, enlightened ones will be saying, who gives a shit, we thought it anyway, it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't take away from the fact that he has giant feet and can swim like a fish.
And little legs.
Little legs.
Compared to his upper body.
Yep.
Because if you ever noticed, swimmers, apparently the good body for a swimmer is short legs, big arms and shoulders.
Yep.
So all the swimmers are massive in the shoulders, but then their legs are pretty short. Apparently. I don't know. I'm not much of a swimming fan.
No.
But what I am a fan of is the Tour de France.
Still.
Where it's a week in, and it's been great. I've actually been really enjoying it.
Really?
There's been lots of... the last 5 or so stages have been a lot of crashing.
Yep.
And a lot of rain.
I did see a pretty gnarly crash the other day.
It was the guy that went round the corner, hit the grass, and then went over and into a spectator.
Yep.
There's crazy crashes. One guy, I can't remember his name. I think he was I think it might have been Froome at the head of Team Sky. One day crashed onto his left side and took out a bit of skin and lycra and a bit of bruising. The next day he's riding, he falls onto his other side and he just gets up and says, "Nah, give me the car. I'm done. I'm not going on." Which... Obviously, we're fans of mixed martial arts, and you see these soccer players falling over and stuff, and then you see a Joe Daddy Stevenson versus BJ Penn covered in blood, and still I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And then you see a cyclist and you go, oh, you fell over, did you? But at some stages, they're doing 40 to 50 Ks an hour, and they fall over wearing nothing but Lycra.
Yep. Look, I've fallen over skateboarding and had gravel rash, and
You've given up and called for the car.
Given up. Yep, called the car.
But yeah, I recommend to anyone, first thing in the morning, get up, get online, and go to the SBS Cycling Central website and check out the highlights of the Tour de France every morning. The longest ones I've seen so far have been like 20 minutes. So whilst you're having your coffee and your breakfast, and you can keep up to date with what's happening in a really awesome way, because those little highlight packages are fantastic. Although the other night I couldn't sleep, so I ended up watching a stage, which was quite a lot of fun. I watched about the last 3 or 4 hours of it, and I think I mentioned in a previous show what I think is the appeal of Test cricket, which is that it's 5 days possibly of just building and building and building, and obviously when it's a draw it sucks, but when it's a close result or something, kettle's ready. God damn it. We're really professional.
Sorry.
The building of that tension is awesome, and it's the same with cycling. When it's a good day or a good stage, the tension that builds over time with there'll be a breakaway usually at the start, which will keep things interesting, and then you watch the teams jostling for position and stuff, and then they catch the breakaway, but one of the guys at the front still had a bit more, so he pushed even harder. And then there's the, oh shit, we're within 10k. Is he going to get to the finish? No, he gets caught. And then the sprinters come out, and then within 100 meters of the finish, some guy goes arse over handlebars, and it can be very exciting. And so this tour is I've actually really been enjoying it. Yeah. And keeping with cycling and me talking, the Armstrong Lie is a documentary.
Is that the one you were watching?
I was recommending it on Facebook, and I watched it the other night. That is a fantastic documentary. It's by Channel 4 in the UK, and the guy that filmed it was actually filming at the time of Lance's comeback tour in 2009, and he had unrivaled access. The access that he had to Lance is just amazing. Hence why the reason I recommended it so much was because he actually sits and talks to the camera and says, yes, I did it. And this is like, he actually goes into detail about when he did it, how he did it, and all these little things. And
does it say what he was doing?
Yep. EPO.
Yep.
EPO and blood transfusions are the main ones. He got into trouble for cortisone at one point, which is a steroid painkiller, I think. And it's a common usage outside competition, but he got into trouble for it during competition. But the crazy thing is, when he went to a doctor at a certain point for something, I can't remember what it was, the doctor said to him, have you taken any performance-enhancing drugs? And he said, yes. I've taken this, but he also included things like steroids and some other stuff that he hasn't been done for. And his masseuse, I think it was there with him. And she was one of the people that came out with Floyd Landis and a couple of other people back in the day, really adamantly going up, saying he is a drug cheat, he cheated, he did this, he did that. And that hasn't been addressed yet.
Oh.
Because, and there's a lot of people suggesting that he's got contracts and things like that if he was cheating at a certain point in his career, he then has to pay back a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Of which I don't see how he can not owe money now. He's screwed no matter what.
Yeah.
But there's certain points at which he's not really giving up any information. But yeah, if you're at all interested in sport as soap opera, I highly recommend the Armstrong Lie. I've watched pretty much every Armstrong doco that I can, and so far that one is the absolute best. It assumes that you know a few things, like the masseuse incident, the doctor's incident. It assumes that you know a few things. For instance, I was watching it with Jamie, and she started having a go at one of these one of the women on the screen, and I had to pause it and explain to her that, this woman has actually been very vocal about Lance from the get-go. So it just assumes that a few things that you might not. But it's still the access to him and him. They finish off the documentary with him actually philosophizing about whether he really did win it or not. Whether he was stripped of the title because he cheated, or whether he still beat all those other 200 riders every year. And the argument comes into it of, well, if all the other guys were cheating as well, then he did win.
He was the best of the cheaters.
Yeah, exactly. If everybody's taking EPO.
Yep. Him taking it is just leveling out the playing field.
Exactly. Because that's what their argument is the whole time, is he and the rest of the US Postal team were all like, we're getting our asses kicked, we've got to do it as well because everyone else is. I think it's like how everybody takes different kinds of supplements, in that I've got a pre-workout supplement or I've got a recovery supplement and stuff. And it's just that line at which the governing bodies of different places say, this is where we stop.
Yep.
This is where you can't go any further.
Yep.
So yeah.
Look, I'm quite happy with my pre-workout supplements and my post-workout supplements. Banana is my pre-workout supplement, and coffee is my post-workout supplement. That's all I have.
Which is funny because some people would do it the other way around. I'd be more inclined to do it the other way around. Or both banana and coffee.
Potassium and the caffeine?
Yep. I find coffee is a great pre-workout. I remember another famous drug cheat, Charles Sonnen, on the Rogan Experience, talking about how he you can't have high levels of caffeine in your system, so he would actually get a no-dose tablet or equivalent. Pardon me, and take it
chilly tonight.
Before the heater isn't on. Sorry.
Okay, thanks.
He would take the no-dose or the caffeine tablet so that he was as popping as he possibly could be.
Going into the cage.
But he would know the exact amount that he was taking so that he could be within the limit that they say you're not allowed. I think that's the same for the Olympics as well. You're only allowed a certain caffeine level.
Okay.
In that when you're sprinting or doing whatever, you're only allowed to have a certain amount. Which is an interesting one. So yeah, that's sport. Tour de France is doing really well in my opinion.
Yep.
BJ Penn is completely done.
He's officially retired.
Thorpe's gay.
Yep.
And what else is happening?
The fucking World Cup is still going.
And the World Cup is still going. Germany did really well. Brazil are wondering what the hell happened. And Melbourne lost quite successfully in a bad way the other day, a couple of days ago. Geelong, I think. And I do get the impression from things I've seen that Richmond won their game today in a good way. I don't know. No. I just saw a friend say on Facebook, "Oh my God, that was a great game. We won in a way that we should have won before," or something like that.
I better check that. It's important.
We'll just wait for you to check.
Yeah.
Why are you angling that away from me?
Why?
Is that stuff about me?
No.
No, whatever, Dale.
I've been requested to do something.
Oh, okay. Oh, not again.
So Richmond won today.
Matty, I don't know whether he got one. Maybe he gave one. Who knows?
What did he say?
Matt wants to know if Ian Thorpe got a pearl necklace for coming out.
Oh.
That's between him and whoever he wants to...
Tom Cruise.
Pearl necklace with. That's none of our business, really. Hey, you never know. He might be a sloppy party bottom. He might be a lazy top. Who knows?
Wouldn't a pearl necklace be more of a heterosexual thing anyway? Because it would revolve... Oh, they beat Port Adelaide. Damn, I was hoping they beat Richmond. Beat Collingwood.
And there's the Melbourne Geelong 36 to 102.
Yeah.
I don't have many, if any, male homosexual friends, and I've never ever talked to them about whether how would you say it? Come play is a thing with them as it is with some heterosexual people. I don't know. So I don't know whether Ian is into getting messy.
Well, I might get him on the line and
give him a call. Ask him if he wants to come on. We're looking for a guest for episode 10.
Well,
see what he's doing in a month. See what he's doing. That would be great. Imagine getting Ian Thorpe as our first guest. Wow.
Well, I received a comment just then on Facebook that I'm actually addressing this very topic. So I'm going to finish writing this, and I wish to.
And we will wait.
Please continue talking, but I wish to address this very topic of guests on.
Let's wait for you to finish talking to someone via your phone.
I've just got to write the comment. Now I'm hoping this comment has just come through, but I have a suggestion for our guest.
Okay.
Because as we know, Matt and Simon are our biggest fans.
Yes.
However, I've recently been given a bit of information that we may possibly have a bigger fan than those two.
Okay.
Matt's wonderful wife Esther is a very big fan of podcasting, and I'm assuming our podcast because she tunes in every week.
She does.
I think she would be a magnificent guest for our podcast.
Okay. Does that mean we have to have Matt here?
Well,
as well?
See, that's
or is Matt going to stay home and watch and be a fan?
That's the thing. He may have to come along to hold the handbag or sit in the corner. But
can I just say the mental image of him on a small, slightly smaller than it should be chair with his knees up and the handbag is quite comical.
Yep. So,
and I say that with love because he could kick my ass if I was saying it in a mean and cruel way, which I'm not. No, of course not. No.
So, Esther for podcast guest, my vote, number 1.
Cool. Okay.
Yep. But that may mean that we'd have to have Matt as well, and then I think it'd only be fair that we had Simon on as well, because it's just everyone's going to be in, so we may as well just
do that Dag's Eye thingy. They're doing it in the chat room, so you do it.
No, that's up to them to do.
Oh, okay, that's not for you.
That's not for me to do. No.
Okay, so if you're suggesting that maybe possibly a double whammy guest, do we open it up and say everyone's welcome?
Well,
do we have a live studio audience for episode 10? Is what I'm asking.
They'd have to be involved on screen as well, so they wouldn't be an audience. They'd be a group participation.
Do we put the camera / laptop further back, and then just like a without the inappropriateness, like a Top of the Pops with Jimmy Savile type thing, have everyone sitting in front of us without the touching, no touching. But we could do it like that.
We could
open it up to multiple people.
Yep.
I don't know.
Oh, that just sounds wrong. I like to open it up to multiple people.
Give us the line, Jamie.
That's what she said.
Thank you.
So yeah, I guess that's a possibility. Possibly we should talk about it off camera or off air a bit.
Look, we've got a few weeks left. We've
still got 4
weeks left.
Still got a month
to go.
You know what I'd really like to do, and I'm just spitballing ideas here. I would actually really like it if we could have a webcam by then and improve the quality of the show for number 10.
That would be
really awesome. Yeah. And if I could get my better mic setup working as well, because I haven't even bothered. I said I would during the week, but I haven't even tried to get that working better.
Do you have to go pick it up from somewhere? Or?
No, I've got it all here. Okay. I've just got to... You know that thing where you've got to just fiddle with computers on the insides and type this code and work out why that doesn't connect to this and stuff like that. I've got to work that out. Even though I'm really pleased with the sound we're getting from the single snowball. That would be good for the fight. The
10th episode?
The 10th episode.
Yep.
The decade episode.
We're getting messages.
Yeah, just read the bottom one there.
Huh.
So I think that's a positive.
That's a buy. I think.
He's read that one though. He's so nice in person, yet the real him when he opens up is just so different. Anyway, so we've talked sporting news.
Yep.
We I touched on it by mentioning BJ Penn before. as you know, before we started, I wanted to try and watch the fight from last week, the Tough 19 finale. Apparently, he has had a really weird stance.
Yeah,
did you see it?
I haven't watched it.
The impression I got from like one picture was that he had a very upright, sort of like this kind of stance. Like a very sort of kind of stance, which is just weird. But listening to the Rogan Experience Fight Companion, it sounded like he just wasn't there, which is not surprising because we know that BJ has that where he's either switched on or not. The second GSP fight, he wasn't switched on, and it was just done, and so. Like, he said it afterwards himself. He said, I'm done. I shouldn't have even come in. I just wanted to see whether I still had it, and he doesn't.
No.
So he's done. Which is a shame, but at the same time awesome, because the guy's an absolute legend.
Well, you can't take away his career.
Oh, wait, I should post this in here. I should talk in here. Sorry?
You can't take away from, the fights that he's had in the UFC.
No, not at all. And in the other fight leagues and stuff. I was watching the doco that Zuffa put out just recently about him, and I knew about some of it, but I didn't realise how varied his career was at that point. He was a UFC champion, and he's like, I'm going to go fight in Pride. I'm just going to go over there and fight. Now I'm going to go fight over here. Yep. Oh, now I want to go up 3 weight classes and fight there.
Lyoto Machida.
Then I want to go down 3 weight classes. Like, he just wanted to go everywhere and just fight everyone. So, yeah. Okay.
All right. What we got more comments, do we?
Oh, just Simon's just saying that I have know nothing about Matt's shit talking, and that is very true.
That is very true. I can. Yeah.
If Matt was an ogre from Shrek, he would be like an onion.
And have layers?
And I would still be on the brown layer on the outside.
Yep.
I am not even close to peeling off the layers. Yep. And I don't want to rush it.
No.
I want to take my time. I've got no rush.
And savour that onion.
Exactly.
Yep.
I've got no rush to get down to the
core of the onion.
The core of the onion. I just want that to happen nice and slow, to be honest.
Jamie?
Sorry, what?
He just wants it to happen nice and slow.
Okay, that's what you said.
You're gonna have to improve on that if that's gonna be your role from now on.
Okay.
I like the fact that it's taken until episode 6 for her to start talking.
She's only been here just about every week.
She's been here every single week except for the first one,
week,
I think. Yeah. And she's remained quiet every time. But now she's becoming that off-air. She could have... Oh, I should teach her how to work the gear, and she can be our version of Red Band.
She could be our producer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or Cackling Jack, or New York Rick, or... I'm just trying to make other references so people don't think that
any of these other podcast people.
That all I listen to is Rogan, because I do listen to lots of other stuff. Oh, she can be Ben from Hardcore History and Common Sense if anyone listens to those. But anyway. So that's sport.
Yep.
Done. We've sorted sport out for the week. Done. Sport is done. What else you got?
I think just quickly while we're still with sport, so
that's sport not done.
No,
back to sport.
It's a preface. We're going to go back a little bit. I mentioned before, we came on air that I went to the driving range and hit a few balls.
Yes. And played golf.
And played golf straight afterwards. I think there's something to be said about going to a driving range, getting a bucket of balls and hitting them into nowhere.
Absolutely.
I am absolutely terrible. Oh, hello. Someone. Oh, and we'll pause the podcast for a sec while you answer your phone. He's actually answering the phone on air.
You know how you don't pay attention to what I post and stuff on Facebook? Yeah, because I'm doing a podcast live at the moment. I'll give you a call back when I finish. Oh, she hung up on me. Oh. Bitch. It's my sister. My family don't pay attention to what I do on Facebook. Mainly because I posted... Did you remember a little while ago I posted that Vice thing about rosebudding?
Yes.
Yeah, my mum didn't like that.
Yeah.
Rosebud. Anyway, you were
Yeah,
saying driving range, golf
absolutely
balls.
fantastic to hit a bucket of golf balls. But what's also pretty fantastic is rosebudding and cherry ripes. Especially if you can get a cherry ripe and bend it in half, and then squeeze it out.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm not really a cherry ripe fan, to be honest.
No. I like the visual imagery of a cherry ripe. I love cherries, but I don't like cherry ripe, so it's kind of strange. Mainly because cherry ripe is coconut. It's not actually cherries.
No, it's not cherries at all. Of course.
No.
It's like Mars bar. It's not real Mars.
No, it's certainly not real Mars.
Okay.
So yeah, hitting a bucket of golf balls is good. You should do it every now and again, and then go and get a milkshake.
I can definitely. It's been a very long time since I've played golf or gone to the driving range, but I can understand. Yeah, just that peaceful sort of take time, slow down, hit the ball. Take time, just that very slow, and even the repetition of it, I can imagine would be quite enjoyable. I kind of wish I did it a little bit more. And especially that satisfaction from hitting that one ball and letting it, and just seeing it go and just going, well, that's it, I'm done. I can't do any better than that.
Well, Simon hit a ball today that went, I reckon, at least 300 metres.
Are you actually checking a Snapchat?
Well,
I can't control the phone call.
They send me... Oh, look at that. Isn't that just awesome?
Those two are very close together. That's good to see that our fans are sitting that close together when they're doing that kind of thing onto the screen.
Yep. Thanks, Simon. Reaction. He always says he sends me stuff and I don't react. I'm really good at it, but that was quite special.
That was very special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is getting out of control, these comments.
It is.
What have we got now?
Apparently, I don't know what Matt's referring to with just pop it, as in pop and locking. I don't know. But apparently Gav just plays with balls now.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Whatever.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm good at it.
Whatever floats your goat.
I'm good at it too. I've been doing it since I was 12.
Yeah. Every single day.
Well, no, it averages out to every single day.
Yeah. Well, you know.
But sometimes you have time off, but then sometimes you have a really productive day.
That's right. That's right. Double digits. Something bad?
Not necessarily bad, just glad that you've enjoyed it. I don't know why he has to put it in the comments section instead of sending it through to like your actual phone.
Well, he probably will do that anyway.
So you're saying that people should definitely go hit balls.
Yeah, go play with some balls. And
go play with some balls. Big balls, little balls.
But yeah, stay safe.
Balls. Yeah. Stay safe, of course.
Other than that, look, what else has happened this week?
Not much.
No.
I was going to say because we have a tendency to talk comics, I read Catwoman Year 2 during the week, which is one of my comics on my iPad. That's my massive 10 gig of Batman comics to work my way through. And I have decided that I'm a very big fan of that era Catwoman, the design and the drawing. So I'm going to... Matt, we've already mentioned Jimmy Savile today. We're not going to talk about Rolf. It's all very inappropriate.
Have you heard about how all the murals of him around the place people are painting over and stuff
there is a mural at the Queen Vic Market, which when we were there just recently, there's actually a notice on a piece of paper, A4 paper on it, that says we will be getting rid of it.
Yep.
Just hold on. Like, it's pretty much saying, look, we know you're complaining. We understand why you're complaining. Just calm down and let us get rid of him.
Yeah. I'm kind of... Look, I agree with all that sort of stuff, right? But he was still an entertainer. He still had songs and that sort of stuff. And I'm not excusing what he... Is it proven that he did this, or is it still alleged?
No, he's going to court. He's going to jail, I mean.
Yeah, but...
He's done.
But you can go to jail when you haven't committed a crime. Was there enough evidence to?
Yeah, I think so. Like
fair enough, Rolf. You're a guilty motherfucker, and you deserve to.
Yeah. I don't think it's in doubt.
Okay, all right. Well,
I don't think there's any way you can you can say that there's a possible chance.
All right.
It's like with Jimmy Savile. He had so many people come out against him now that there's no question that he did it. There's no doubt whatsoever. He was just a creepy fuck.
I can't remember who it was that spoke about it, but they were talking about Michael Jackson, how, there was all that, everyone was making alleged things that he was abusing children and stuff like that. And they use the analogy that if someone calls you a crackhead for 20 years, chances are you're smoking crack, sort of thing.
Yeah, there's that certain thing with Michael where it was just like, how much longer can this go on with it being a allegedly? Yeah. Yeah. I find I'm not. There's no justification for it. You can't defend these people and what they've done. But with Michael Jackson, the way I see it is that he was mentally deranged. He was actually mentally unstable, and that is the cause for what he did. I don't think that he was like Jimmy Savile, where he... Jimmy Savile, from what I've heard, he was just such a creepy fuck that knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that he was hurting people and messing with them mentally and just ruining them, yet he kept doing it and was just enjoying the fact that he was getting away with it. I think...
He was getting off.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I don't mean getting, like, he was getting off on the fact that he had the power of...
Yeah, the power trip was part of it, for sure. From the stories that have been told, it was definitely the power trip. I don't think that was the case with Michael Jackson. No. I don't excuse what he did, but he was mentally unstable. His parents and family messed him up so much when he was young, that he had no... Because there was stories of him with women where it didn't... That the woman would be like, he didn't know what to do. He was like a child.
Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson. Yeah. Where he was just a child. Yeah. And so you can sort of understand that as a... He wanted the Neverland Ranch. He wanted all this thing where it was just staying... He was Peter Pan. Yeah, it was as though he was retarded and his mental age was a lot younger. And if you then say, okay, imagine a 12-year-old at a party with another bunch of 12-year-olds, something like that
was perfectly normal.
Well, and not something that you would be okay with having happen at, say, your kids... at a party and something like that happens, you might not be okay with it. You probably wouldn't be okay with it. But you would still just go, okay, you know what? They're kids. Yep. That's a bit excusable. But because Michael had all this money, because there should have been people looking after him better and not just getting money out of him, which is what it sounded like it was, that kind of thing happened. The Rolf one, I get the feeling that no, I can't. I was about to.
I don't follow the news at all anymore. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, in the world. I can't say anything about the Rolf one because I haven't heard anywhere near enough to have any kind of opinion on it. But regardless, it sounded like he definitely messed up some people's lives and deserves to do some time for it.
But are we talking young women? Are we talking children?
It was the main one that I heard about, that I read about, was his daughter's friend.
How old was his daughter's friend at the time?
At the time, they were... Jamie, can you remember?
Definitely underage, around about 13 to 15.
Okay, so that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, so they were underage, 13 to 15. If you can't hear Jamie off in the background. And from what I heard, it was something like, whilst they were having a sleepover, Rolf happened to just come into their room. That kind of thing.
Okay.
And just completely predatory.
Yeah.
Because you send your kid out, or you are a kid and you go, oh, awesome, I'm going to go have a sleepover at so-and-so's house. you don't expect that kind of or want or need, or it shouldn't happen to you.
No.
So there's definitely no excuse, and he should definitely be doing the time like he is, and just like the Hey Dad guy did or is doing.
Did he get found guilty? Because that sounded a lot more creepy to me.
The Hey Dad one.
Yeah,
that was
a lot more creepy.
The Rolf one is it's so sad to say this, but it's the least creepy of them all. Savile is so far... If they were giving out awards, he would have the Academy Award for creepy motherfucker.
Yeah.
Mainly because he looked like a creepy motherfucker.
He did.
He looked like the freaking kitty catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah.
It's really creepy, that guy, that he ever actually did anything. Or got anywhere on TV. He had a great face for radio. It was just ridiculous.
He had a very good face for radio.
The Hey Dad guy was probably in the next one down, and then Rolf is probably the one that's like probably the least bad. But they're all
bad.
Still,
they're all, you know.
It's just ridiculous talking about it like that.
Yeah.
Should we possibly? Thanks for that topic suggestion there, Matt.
But also, I think it's very important to add that, you know, it's kind of a forgotten thing, and you know, yes, it's completely inexcusable, but the fact of the matter that it's kind of really overlooked. Elvis Presley was fucking Priscilla Presley when she was like 13 or 14 years old.
Were they actually having sex, or did... Because I heard that he waited for her. He said, I like her. I'm going to wait until she's old enough, and then we're going... Because they got married like days after her 18th or 17th or whatever the age of
I thought it was much younger than that.
Well, I know Jerry Lee Lewis married his second cousin who was only 15 or 13 at the time.
Charlie Chaplin married a 13-year-old, or some 13-year-old kid. But Elvis was the king of pop and king of rock and roll.
The interesting thing is where it comes, and it doesn't. Again, I have to keep saying I don't want anyone to misinterpret what I'm saying, so I definitely don't agree. But it's all about what's acceptable where you're from, I guess, because to a certain degree, and the thing, even if it's acceptable in a certain community, you still want to go into that community and say, you think it's acceptable, but look at these people who are messed up by it. That's not how you should be. Because for Jerry Lee Lewis's case, his cousin, who was the father of the girl, was okay with it.
Yeah.
He was consenting.
Yeah.
And if the... Winona Ryder biopic of Jerry Lee Lewis is anything to go by, the girl was okay with it as well. She liked him. She thought that a late 20s, I think it was, or even 30s, piano player was sexy and was interesting and stuff. And it wasn't until they went to England and a reporter came up to her and said, "Who are you?" And she said, "Oh, I'm his wife." And she said, "How old are you?" And she lied and said 15, when in fact she was 13, I think it was the case. That's when it went haywire. Because in the Deep South, that was just what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, in ancient Greek, they would only have sex with women to reproduce, and then they'd have sex with young boys.
Yeah.
But of course, how did those boys turn out? Did they turn out messed up and... I think we've gotten a little bit too serious. This is meant to be a fucking comedy show.
I know, and we were talking about Catwoman at some stage, I remember.
Esther wants to know if would you rather sleep over with Rolf or Michael?
Ooh.
I'm gonna say either, because I reckon I could take either of them. If either of them tried anything, I reckon I could take them.
Well, you've got to think about it. Like, you go to Michael Jackson's place and you got the Neverland Ranch, you got Bubbles, you got, you know, Jesus Juice, you got all that sort of stuff. Whereas Rolf, you've got the third leg and the wobble board.
I just had some. Oh god, that was a really creepy image in my head. No.
We want to keep our iTunes.
Oh god.
A-okay.
We've had a couple of comments. There was, does Michael still have the good drugs? I believe all he had was red wine, if I remember correctly from what I've read. And Maddie wants to point out that Game of Thrones, different worlds, so different rules.
Yep.
Yeah, because obviously in the TV show of Game of Thrones, a lot of the characters are a lot older, but in the book, they're all 13, 15, that kind of age.
Yep.
Given that George based it all on ancient medieval times, that's probably was the age that shit was happening.
Look, I'm sure those times there's a lot of kitty fucking going on.
They only lived until 30 or 40, didn't they, back then? So that probably was the case.
Without going too crude on the topic, but fact of the matter is, when a man can achieve an erection and is able to produce sperm, he's ready to be a father. And when a woman
physically,
and when a woman
when there's grass on the wicket, there's no. I can't remember
saying that one. I was just going to say when a woman becomes a woman and has her period for the first time, she's ready to have a child.
When she flowers. But of course that's the thing about our modern society with our understanding of the human psyche and all that kind of stuff, is that we understand that even though we are physically ready at the time, it doesn't necessarily mean that we are mentally able to handle all the things involved with that kind of stuff. And we've effectively established that it's much better to be a parent when you're older, or to have those kind of intimate, detailed, serious relationships with people when you are a bit older. So I think that's what we've established.
Yes.
That's the D&G belief and policy on kitty fucking.
Yes.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. So, Catwoman. This just got really serious.
I think Esther's hitting on me.
Really?
No, of course not. I think both Dale and I could take either Rolf Harris or Michael Jackson, and I'm telling you now, I think we could probably take them at any age as well. Because even when Rolf was young and fit, he wasn't. He didn't work out. He liked painting and tapping on paint cans.
Sure can.
I mean, his arms have probably got a bit of strength from the wobble board, but I still think I think we could both take him. Anyway, let's get off the topic of pedophilia.
Yeah.
Yes, Catwoman. So Year 2 was the Catwoman that I was referring to, and that is the Catwoman.
Meow.
That's the Catwoman that I was referring to. It's kind of funny because I'm now trying to bring up the Year 2 cover, because I'm sure our fans or our listeners are all adamantly taking our recommendations and heading down to the comic book store. So I'm sure they're down watching or heading down to the comic book store to buy Saga, which we recommended the other day, and of course DMZ or Northlanders. Catwoman Year 2, I really enjoyed it, but it's that Catwoman that is the appeal for me. The funny thing is, though, that costume does not work, like so many superhero costumes, does not work in the real world, because the wonderful thing about cosplayers is that we've established how much these costumes, how silly they look in the real world. And I'm just trying to bring one up.
It's a pretty good
Iron Man and a pretty good Catwoman.
Oh, it's just the way it, from the last thing we'd set up, that came across pretty well. That
is a good cosplaying, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's really good. But it just goes to show how ridiculous that costume is, because there is absolutely no way that a person would be able to run and jump off buildings or fight or anything in heels like that or with boobs like that. It's completely impossible. And I just find it amusing.
I'm sorry, did you say something? I've just been staring at the Catwoman costume.
No, you weren't. You were staring at Iron Man.
Iron Man, yeah, and his crotch.
Don't try.
The iron crotch.
The iron crotch of Justice.
Yeah.
The other... no, we won't bother going into the other cosplayers. You can do it. Just search Catwoman cosplay and you'll see some funny costumes. and some really bad ones as well.
That is... Please put that on the screen.
You want to see that? Okay.
That is terrible.
That poor lady, that's enough of that one. We don't want to make fun of people. That's not what this show's about.
No.
So yeah, Catwoman Year 2 is my comic recommendation for this week. I read that over the little while. The Catwoman Year 1, of course, is pretty good as well. But that's Catwoman Year 2 is a good proper story. So yeah, have you been reading much? I noticed your bag today didn't have any comics for me. It
actually does.
Borrow.
I've bought 2 comics for you to borrow.
Excellent.
And I know you haven't read them.
I'm hoping one of them is volume 3.
Shit, no, I didn't.
Damn it!
I'm in the middle of that one. But I did go into the city on Friday, and I did buy myself the new issue of Sex Criminals that's just come out.
A friend of mine up in Brisbane bought that as well. Just saying. I think I've read Sex Criminals. Yep. I think I've read one single issue of that. I haven't read a trade or anything.
So yes, issue 6 I believe came out.
Give people the rundown of Sex Criminals.
So Sex Criminal is...
It's an interesting idea.
It is the story about a woman. It starts off from the perspective of a woman who finds out that she has the ability to stop space and time when she masturbates. Specifically when she orgasms. And she doesn't quite understand that that's not normal until she decides to ask the school whores and goes up to them, "Hey sluts, what's that thing when you orgasm and you see the stars," and all that sort of stuff, and they have no idea what she's talking about. Until one day she finds out that there's another guy who has the exact same ability as she does. So they start a relationship and they become sex criminals. And all the way through I'm thinking, wow, what exactly are sex criminals? Are they, people that solve crimes when they're in this orgasm space? However, they actually become criminals while in the orgasm space. So
the thing I'm wanting to know is how long does this last?
Well, that's the interesting thing. It lasts until they're ready to have sex again. So
wait a second. The time stopping lasts for as long until they're ready to have sex again.
That's exactly right.
And then they start having sex again. So time only goes along when they're having sex.
So they have sex, and when they come, their time slows down and everything like that. But as soon as they get aroused again, that's when time starts. So they have to orgasm for time to stop. So you know that blissful moment right after you come, and is that as soon as that's gone,
when you fall asleep.
You fall asleep. I'm ready to go again in 5 minutes. Are you listening to us, Jamie?
I just made an in joke.
That's what she said. Sorry, Jamie, you're too slow. Too slow.
It was an in joke and then an out joke, then an in joke, then an out joke, But I still don't quite understand the fact. Okay, so we've got the time frame here, and I'll bring back up the proper camera. You've got the time frame here, and
all right. I'll explain it to you. And this it's not going. It's something that's going to give away a tiny part of the book for you and for anyone that reads it. But for example, it's not a major plot story or anything like that. But
I roughly think that no one's going to read it except for me.
Okay, so what? All right, for example, when the guy goes into the space, right? I can't remember the name, what he calls it, but she calls it like the abyss or something like that, and he's got a name for it, like fuck world.
Fuck world.
When he's there and he's finished and the world has stopped.
Bang.
Right?
Bang. So this is time stopping here. So world stopped and time's going for him.
Yep. So everything stopped. As soon as she says to him something, butt stuff, I'll put my finger up your butt, he gets so aroused, time starts again. Then they would have to have sex and he would have to come for time to stop again. Read the book.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. It doesn't quite make sense to me.
Okay. Anyway, so I bought Sex Criminals, and I also bought the latest issue of Guardians of the Galaxy. And I also bought the 2 issues 19 and 20 of Saga.
Oh, you're swapping over to the singles for Saga?
I'm not going to wait for the trade.
You don't want to wait for the trade?
I'll have to wait another 6 months.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That is the problem. I get the feeling that I've been out of comics for so long that I could go into a comic book store and I could spend big money based on how many trades are probably available to me that I want to read.
Yep.
But of course, I'm poor as fuck, so I'm still working my way through all my downloaded ones.
Yes.
I did, because I've been seeing that Superman Wonder Woman is going along quite nicely, as far as I can tell from the covers and what people are talking about. And I also really liked the Batman Superman that was happening just before I stopped buying hardcovers. So yeah, I want to get into those.
Yep.
Going with the comment section of the broadcast, Simon says that you've got to go shopping for a gi.
I do need to go shopping for a gi. It's very important that I buy a gi. And
why?
I've got 1.5 gis.
Oh, okay.
I
kind of assumed you were a 2 gear.
I
thought you'd gotten to the point of 2.
I have 2 gis.
Okay.
I do have 2 gis. However,
so what's happened?
One, my jacket is way too big.
Okay.
And 2, the pants that I wear with said jacket are ripped at the thing. They've been sewn and they've lasted for the last 2 weeks. However, there's going to become a stage where they're going to rip and they're going to be gone.
Okay.
So I've told them that my first paycheck of my new job, I'm going to get a gi. So if anyone has any suggestions besides those 2 on where to get a gi from.
Well, I have to take, if Maddie's still watching, his recommendation of, what was the place called?
In the city?
No, they're in North Melbourne now. Or they're moving to the city. Trans...
Oh, yeah.
Place. That guy was...
Brunswick Street.
Yeah, that guy was really helpful for just getting a pair of pants. That was really awesome. Yep. Even though they're like way too big, but that means that I can actually do a lunge and have leg movement as opposed to my previous ones where I'd sit down with my feet together and try and put my knees down, and I couldn't do it because the pants would stop, which was a shame.
Too tight.
Yeah. I've decided that I need to put more effort in before I can buy a new gi. Because I'm just not putting it in.
It's alright. That mean it'll last longer.
Unfortunately, yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, my I don't have the time schedule that you have. That
you're back at school this week.
I'm 90% sure. I keep forgetting to double check. I need to double check, which means that hopefully I can get myself to a Matty Hogan class on Tuesday morning, which is exciting.
Yep.
Damn it! I was thinking of something that I was going to go to next as a topic, but I've completely lost said topic.
Well, while I remember the comic that I bought for you,
is
one that I have read, and I magnificently got to meet the author, and he signed it for me. Dale,
very
have
nice.
faith in the fish.
Yes.
And the other one says Dale set sail. That rhymes. It is a comic called The Deep, and it is about a interracial family. Look it up. I'd rather you look it up.
It'll look, because we did it last week when the Safari wasn't working on my laptop, and it did not look very good holding things up to the screen.
So The Deep it's about a family of...
That doesn't look like it.
No, that's not it. Put The Deep comic, I guess. It's a family of underwater adventurers, we'd call them. And they're a mixed race family, so they're not all white, Anglo, beautiful people.
Which is good to see in a comic book these days.
Yes. And I don't know how else to describe it beside the fact that it's completely written and developed here in Australia. Oh, and that leads to my next point. Probably if you can find another picture, but it's too late. You've already put it up there.
Why?
Because I'll get to that.
What do you mean you'll get to what?
I'll get to what the specific
Which
picture.
picture would you like me to put up?
Maybe one of these ones up the top there. just to give people an idea of that's what it looks like. So yeah, it's a family of underwater adventurers. They go on adventures underwater. What I was going to say, and what you kind of popped up before, can I do this without?
Yeah, click the camera one.
I want that picture.
Yeah, but click the camera button first. Camera, where it says camera.
Where's that? Oh yeah, camera. Yep.
Click that.
Hello.
Yep. Now click the one you want.
Yep. And
you can probably just go straight back to 2D Mix there, because.
So what has actually happened based on this comic? They have picked this up for a Nickelodeon television series.
I now understand what you're saying, because that looks more like TV animation than.
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't exactly know when it's coming on TV, but it's been picked up by Nickelodeon from what I remember. And you read this, and if you're up for it in the next week, and tell me what you think, because it's really good. It is really, really, really good. For I shouldn't speak ill of our magnificent country, but for this being written and created completely in Australia.
Just want to see whether people can see that these pages are stuck together.
Oh, it was a cold and lonely night. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's one comic that I took overseas with me when I went to Bali, and there's been certain books that I've read overseas that have just saved me on long drives and stuff like that. And this was one of them. I was on the plane and I read it a few times.
I was going to say I like the idea of everyone goes to Bali, gets drunk, has a great time. You're sitting there on the beach or something, just reading a comic.
Yeah, I did a bit of that.
But I can sympathise, because I'm telling you now, I don't have any urge to go to Bali whatsoever. I would be taking reading material.
Yep.
Personally. Yeah, that looks good.
It's quite good. I really think you'll enjoy it. It kind of looks like a bit of a kiddie thing.
Yeah,
I was going to. His name is Tom Taylor.
Yeah, but what's the publisher or anything? Is it completely independent? No,
Gestalt, which is a West Australian, and I actually found out about Gestalt Publishing they did a documentary about them. They've released quite a few Australian only comics. I bought these at Comic-Con, I think, and got Tom Taylor to sign it. I have ordered a couple of comics from there, and I ordered them a very long time ago, and they still have not arrived. And I've sent 2 emails. If you type in Gestalt, you're gonna get all this weird stuff. Wow, Gestalt is actually something. There you go. Yeah, so I was thinking today I've got to
follow that up again.
Yeah, follow it up again.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Because the other one I read is it's I don't even know. It's not one of these ones. It's this thing called go down and see if I can find it. It's something starts with C.
Because one of the things
really good.
One of the things that I've noticed in our comic talks is that I'm much more of because I only just started getting back into comics in the last 2 years.
That's Tom Taylor there.
That's Tom Taylor. I'm still Tom Taylor there for everyone who is curious.
He actually writes what was the big DC video game they did recently?
Batman?
No, it's a fighting game.
Gods Amongst Us?
Yes.
Injustice?
He does the comics for Injustice.
I have no idea what this image is, but I'm a big fan of the mod Target, so I'm going to be looking into whatever that is. Just
I don't know what that one is.
No idea what that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the difference between our comic book stylings. I'm still sticking with the DC comics a lot at the moment.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you're introducing me to other stuff like that.
I'm really into independent stuff.
Yeah. Well, my roughly independent, because I'm not sure what Brian Wood's doing on at the moment. A comic that I grabbed from home the other day when I was there, The Massive is my recommendation for this week. Yep. It's one trade at the moment. I think they're close to a second trade. At the moment, it's another. Brian Wood did. I'm a big Brian Wood fan. He did Northlanders and DMZ, and it's a eco disaster piratey type thing. That's awesome. Esther's asking us a couple of questions.
Yep, go for it, Esther.
The first one is, what are you studying? I think that was aimed at me, but you answer it first.
Oh.
What are you studying?
I'm studying to be as awesome as Matt Hogan.
There you go.
It's not going very well.
No, it's not. You're going to have to bulk up like crazy.
Yeah. Matt has got the best haircut in the entire world. That's
well, you're going to have to improve on that as well.
Yep.
And you wear pants way too often.
I know.
You've got to swap to shorts.
I know.
Yeah. I am studying horticulture, parks and gardens for Esther. I'm a gardening nerd. So if you want any gardening advice or tips, I highly recommend asking me, because I will chew your ear off about it. I'm surprised actually that I haven't brought gardening or plants and stuff up on this show at all. If anyone wants any mystery bulbs, I've got a bunch of them at the moment that I'm potting up soon.
Well, I found it quite interesting yesterday when you were telling Chris and I about the fact that you have a coffee plant.
I do.
I think that's pretty awesome.
Hold on a second.
Oh, he's going to get the coffee plant.
Coffea arabica, actually.
Coffea arabica. Oh, it actually has to go outside to get the coffee plant.
It's not doing
Oh, you can smell the citrus in the air.
It's not doing too well at the moment, unfortunately. But that's my little Coffea arabica at the moment. As Dale can see, and I'm sure no one can actually see, it had a much bigger one coming off here that got up to about here. And I'll bring that down so that people can... About there. But I had to trim that off because it wasn't doing too well. And I've just noticed here it's actually missing a couple of leaves on the side here, which is a bit of a shame.
Where are the coffees?
The coffee seeds, or the coffee fruits, because they fruit. It's going to have to grow at least another 1.5 meters before that happens.
Okay, so will that be by the end of the podcast?
No, unfortunately. This is a very long-term plant for me. I have no intention of harvesting off it anytime soon. It actually needs a bit of work. I'm a bit embarrassed.
No?
By that.
No, I think it'll be good once it gets to maturity.
It's not in the ideal spot at the moment, really, on the balcony there.
What, South America?
No, you can grow coffee in Australia.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Shows what you know.
It'll
I don't know what Matt's saying. Matt's saying something.
It'll be a long-term, as I said, a long-term thing for me on that one. That plant. Esther also wants to know who's the most famous person you've met. Matt Hogan.
It has to be Matt Hogan.
It has to be Matt Hogan.
Yeah.
Dale, do you wear jandals with ropes?
Yes, I wear covered jandals. I can prove that. My jandals are covered, and they have ropes.
Okay.
Yep.
And Maddie is saying jorts, which I assume is
jean
his
shorts.
reference to his jean shorts.
Yep. It's the ultimate man apparel, the jean shorts. You can wear it, on the coldest days, the darkest nights.
Okay, sure.
Especially if you got a green lantern. Gestalt.
This winter I've swapped over to wearing pants again. I've been very much a shorts person for a long time. When I worked in a cafe and I was indoors all the time, I was a shorts guy all year round. I was not interested.
Jeggings.
I was not interested at all in wearing pants, especially because the kitchen and the cafe was quite warm the whole time, so it was comfortable wearing shorts. It just feels more comfortable sometimes. But obviously pants give you that warmth in the legs.
In the legs. Wow.
I think that's what we can all aim for, really.
Wow. Look at those legs.
Do you reckon she squats?
That's a girl?
I assume so.
Oh, I thought it was a guy that sat in cottage cheese.
Is that hair... that hair looks female?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. Jesus. Anyway. That is quite nice. Oh, well.
Dale, do you have the appropriate scout badge for tying the ropes?
Who asked that?
Who do you think?
Matt or Esther or...
Simon.
Simon. Well...
And Matt wants to know, what the hell do you do with the ropes?
Well, Matt and Simon know exactly what I do with ropes.
Hello.
But,
I'm not even sure what that means. That's what a lot of this is, I find, is you talking to Matt and Simon.
That is magnificent. That is magnificent.
Oh, that's gold.
Oh,
I love the internet. That's pretty hot too.
Yeah. Anyway, so this. Oh. When I was down St Kilda today, we got out of the car and I was just hit by the smell of waffles.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, and have you ever had a waffle that's blue?
A blue waffle?
Yeah.
Why was it blue?
Matt Hogan.
No, you weren't meant to. I was going to see what came up.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, there was lots of blue waffles around.
What are you doing your little in jokes again, aren't you?
Has no one ever told you about blue waffles?
I don't know.
All right,
wait, no. I'm going to try and find out what a blue waffle is then. If you're
Gavin, you don't want to do that. Gavin, you don't want to do that.
Let's see what
you don't want to do
comes
that.
up in the images. Ew. I think I have seen some of these before.
I
think I've seen that one before.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the right reaction.
That was the reaction that you had.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm glad that
I think
you didn't have the sense to put it.
Oh no, I'm not that stupid.
Good.
I mean, we'll post some silly things on here, but I'd keep that kind of stuff. Really?
Well, but that says something. That my vagina
is beautiful.
Is beautiful.
And then I assume this wasn't meant to look infected down here.
No.
We're looking at a back tattoo. I'm not even going to bother posting the picture of it, but
that's not that bad.
No, I just can't be bothered.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about something completely unrelated.
It is fun. It is possible to go through the internet looking at bad tattoos and also bad skin issues and find some really really crazy things that make you feel a lot better about yourself.
Do we have anything?
Simon said, Dale so harsh. Simon then also said, I feel sorry for Gavin right now. Matt Hogan says, blue waffles, bro. Matt then also says, tasty. Esther says, don't do it. Carolina says, post it.
Carolina?
Yeah.
Who's Carolina?
I will look at her profile picture. Can you guess who it is?
Oh, okay.
God
damn it, I thought we had a new fan.
No.
Okay.
No, we've just got someone who doesn't like to reveal their real name. And then Maddie also says, seen it in the mirror, Gav.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's trying to imply there.
I don't know either.
I'm very clean.
And you don't have a vagina.
That you know of.
Yeah. Let's talk TV shows.
Okay.
I want to know, did you watch The Leftovers?
No, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Yep.
We started watching it again. I started watching it again, and a certain someone that I was watching it with was like, "Oh, I'm not really feeling this." So we stopped watching. I downloaded the second episode though, so I'm ready to go when I've got a chance.
Good.
To watch it. So we'll see how we go. Maybe sometime this week I'll wake up 3 hours earlier than I need to, and I'll come out here and watch it.
Fair enough.
Because that does happen sometimes. Speaking of which, remember how earlier in the show I said I got up and couldn't sleep, so I watched the tour. I then, when that ended, I then watched the Steve Jobs movie. With Ashton Kutcher.
Oh,
that's what I do. I get up and I can't sleep, so I watch movies.
Yep.
So I'll watch The Leftovers because Chris posted saying that she thinks it's fantastic.
And I'm so happy that I have someone in my house that
will watch it exactly.
with me.
Now the two of you can be like, I got the new episode and we can watch it. Does she like Game of Thrones?
I don't think so. I don't know. We've never spoken about it.
Because that would be funny if she likes it and you just, like, she's watching it, you come walking past and you're just like, oh, not that again. And yeah, that would be funny. I'll prove it to you on Tuesday morning, Matt. Don't click on special fried rice disease. That's terrible. If you're all... I remember I saw a post or something and there's a YouTube video where this doctor in India posts pictures of him removing decades-old blackheads.
Yeah, I've seen that stuff.
It's amazing.
It's amazingly disgustingly wrong.
It is a bit disgusting, but I want to know how these people leave them in there that long.
Who knows?
Now, I know...
I need that away from me.
Don't close it. Why'd you close that?
Because I need it away from me right now.
You could have just minimalised it or gone to something else. Hey, can I just point out the D&G on live stream chat window is much better.
Pumping.
Yeah, it is pumping, but it's much better to read and interact with than the live stream for iPad version. I just wanted to say that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whilst we're talking very quickly about live stream, people who are watching, you can obviously talk to us because you know us and you're not exactly people we don't know. But you can, we do want to know what's good and bad about the show.
Yeah.
Just saying. So pass that on. Tell us. And now we're going to get abused. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Leftovers is still awesome. Watch it. I want to know what you think. Another show that I spoke about in either the first or second episode, The Strain, starts... tomorrow it'll be in Australia, so I'm very much looking forward to that as well. Okay. That's the vampire
Yes, I remember you mentioning that one.
Yep. Other than that, what else has been back on TV that's been really
Nothing
good?
at the moment. There hasn't been very much at all lately. We worked our way through The Office US and got very disappointed when we finished that because we've run out of stuff to watch. There doesn't seem to be very much on at the moment because they're all having their mid-year break. Everyone's on summer holidays. Although Arrow just started filming again, which I'm pretty excited about. Because the new season. So, and Vikings, I think, is filming at the moment as well.
Oh, I didn't finish watching season 2.
I haven't finished either, but I want to. Like I keep seeing the files on my computer and saying, "Look, you got to watch that. You got to get back up to date with that."
On my USB, but it's not enough for me to watch it. I started watching a show last night, and then I watched about 5 episodes of it this morning. It's a Showtime show called Ray Donovan. It's kind of, one of those knockabout hitman kind of shows. Okay. It is fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Ray Donovan.
Donovan. Liev Schreiber plays the Ray Donovan character, and he's kind of he's a fixer. So he works for like a lawyer. A massive lawyer firm and
law firm.
Law firm.
Laura.
Massive law firm. And
is that Laura Ashley?
It is Laura Ashley. He works for the firm, and when they have a client that is messing up, he goes and sorts it out, kind of thing. So he's the hard man. But a side note to that, he's got a brother who's got Parkinson's disease, a brother who was molested by a priest and is a bit messed up by that, and their father who's just got out of prison for 20 years for doing something, we don't know what. But yes, there's something happening with all 4 of those characters that I'm not quite sure what yet, but I'm very interested to see how this is going to wrap up. So If I'm not home too late, I might watch a couple more episodes tonight.
So your recommendation is
Ray Donovan. Season 2 starts tomorrow.
Season 2 starts tomorrow.
Yes.
So
I'm a very Johnny-come-lately.
So we've got tonight to watch Season 1.
All of Season 1. All 12 episodes. So you got the next 12 hours to watch it.
Jamie, start downloading them now. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a TV recommendation.
TV recommendation?
I haven't got any TV recommendations apart from the old classics, so I'm not gonna. I actually watched a couple of episodes of the UK Office again last night when I wasn't feeling too well.
Is his That's What She Said as well, or is it something else?
No, That's What She Said is definitely a
what's
US. He doesn't have a.
I thought he did. I thought he had an equivalent,
he didn't have a catchphrase.
Bishop to the nun or whatever.
Bishop to the actress. That's my stepdad's.
Yeah.
No, the English version is a lot less catchphrasy and gimmicky, which to me that's the appeal of the two shows. The difference between them is that they're so different because the US version is so, for want of a better word, gimmicky and catchphrasy and stuff. That's the appeal of that show. The fact that I go around quoting the American one more than I do the English one.
Well, the American one's been going for 8 seasons or
9. Went for 9 seasons, but it had those gimmicky catchphrases. The current one that I quite like is parkour. Because the episode where they come in and they just jump on things and then go, parkour!
Yeah.
That one I find quite amusing. But the English one is not as much catchphrasy, but it's just so awkward and just so it's just so good, the English one. You can't I
liked with the American one, I liked all the characters. Like there was something to love about all the characters, like Dwight with, his eccentricities and everything. Kevin with his voice and all that sort of jazz.
Beats.
Bears.
Battlestar Galactica. But it just...
Creed was my favourite.
Creed was weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, the UK one, I was describing it to Jamie that it's, for me, it's more of a... When I watch that, it feels like a big hug. Because I watched the first couple of episodes. My best mate came around and said, I've got this show. It's done 2 seasons, or I think maybe you'd have done 1 season. But he said, here, watch this show. It's brilliant. You have to watch it. And I was like, no, I've heard about that show. No, I don't want to be influenced. And so I was, no. I watched like 2 episodes and I said, right, give me the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then I watched the 2nd season, got through that, and then it came to the 2 specials, and I was almost desperate to get the 2 specials. I was like, please, give me, because I had got to that point where I had to watch more of it, and it is, it's just like, it sounds like such a wank, but it's like coming home. You feel so comfortable watching that show and knowing those characters and that space that they're in. That it's fantastic. It's like watching the British Empire for me, because I watched that as a young kid by myself, and just no one else likes that show. Literally no, because it's not good. It's not a good show, but it is silly and ridiculous, and I absolutely love it. And it's one of those things where you just like, nothing else really matters anymore, because I can watch this show and I can feel part of this world, and it feels comfortable. That's what the English one is, and it's just so awkwardly funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have any final questions?
No, the questions have
dried up.
Have dried up, which is a shame. It's been a whole 8 minutes since our last question. I'm just noticing though here on the live stream page that I've got powers as the host of this show to delete, comment, and ban users.
No.
Of course, I'm not going to. We love all our people who watch our show, because without them, it would be even sadder that we do this. Without our 5 people watching, even though that's probably 2 of them there, given that I'm watching it on 2 screens.
Yeah.
Anyway, Yeah, check us out on iTunes if you can. That would be
If
great.
you can find us,
If
you can find us, let us know where it is.
If you can find it, let us know where it is.
Yeah.
Simon, no, I didn't. No, Simon, I wasn't actually looking at you. I was looking at a certain someone else. I was looking at I was going to ban Carolina because she won't even give her real name.
Carolina.
Sorry, Carolina. Wasn't that a kids movie? I don't know. Oh, well, I'm not going to ban you now, Simon, if you want to be banned. Next, he'll be telling me to call him a naughty boy. Okay.
Yeah.
I reckon we're probably coming to the end. An hour and a half is pretty good.
What have we got here?
I'll run a train on you.
Oh, Jesus.
What does that mean? Did you see that video that got posted today of, I can't remember the guy's name, Andre somebody schooling... Gaval schooling that guy who wasn't really a black belt. Why would you enter a black belt division?
I didn't know anything about. I looked at the video and I thought that was mean what he was doing.
It was,
especially when he pushed him over.
Yeah, there was a couple of parts where it was like, I can understand you're frustrated and you're annoyed and stuff, but at the same time you're being a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why you would enter a professional black belt division if you're not a professional black belt.
I don't know. I didn't know anything about it.
Well, I
did watch the video, and when he was like, surfing on his back and did like a cartwheel into him, and
I read a little bit that said that apparently, like a few weeks earlier, this guy was competing at blue belt level.
Oh gosh!
And apparently, he's a black belt in judo.
Oh, okay.
And so he entered in the black belt absolute division. It's like, why would you do that? I don't understand how you would do that. And I didn't see any judo in that either.
No.
It looked like it was very. It looked like obviously the skill levels were very mismatched, which is what it was, and the reason why we watched it. But there is a certain amount of, shouldn't he have just finished it quickly and gone, dude, you shouldn't be here, and walked away, instead of, I'm just going to be a bit of a dick and surf around on your back now. Anyway. That's episode 666. Tune in next week, same bat time, same bat channel for episode 7. Please send us suggestions of anything and everything. I can't think of anything else.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much.
Do you want to do it, or do you want me to?
No. What? Press a button?
Press the stop. Make it stop.
Make it stop.
Make it stop. Although, what were we talking about the other day if we have to let it keep going? I'm going to let it keep going because I think we've got to a stage where we need it to run a little bit longer.
Yes, so that we get the audio.
Let's just talk here at the end a little bit. I had an idea that what we should do is we should set up a PayPal account and people can donate.
Yeah.
So that then we can afford a webcam. That was my little thought. So if you see us around, please donate.
Yes.
Can't see a good one here. No. Anything? None of them have put any of them appealing to you. This is great.
Oh, it's got to be that one. Got to be that one.
Great way to end the show.
Yeah.
It's good to be back in the commentary position.
Yes.
For the first time today. Okay. That is goodbye from him, and it's goodbye from me. Thank you very much for watching, listening. Dagsy.
Dagsy! I never thought I'd have to say that.
That shouldn't have come up in there. Okay, bye.
See you again.